Hi everyone in English 2323. Welcome to British Literature. I am Dr. E. I'm your professor for this semester, so glad that you're here. What I'm going to do in this video is just walk you through all the different areas of D2L just to familiarize yourself with how our course is set up. Every course, if you're taking a bunch online, is going to be a little bit different, so hopefully this will help you at least in our class. Do note that this is one of a handful of videos this week, but not every week will be this intensive. This is just to kind of get us off the ground and get you, like I said, familiar with the space and the assignments and expectations. So there are videos about the discussion posts and what the expectations are there. There is a weekly instructional video, as well as a video that goes through just the points of the syllabus and how to read our schedule so that you know what to do every week. So just set aside some time to view those, but again, every week will not be quite this intensive. All right, I'm going to pull up D2L and just walk through the different areas that we need to focus on in this class. So you'll see, and please note, I have two different sections of the class with two different books that have been assigned. So if yours doesn't look quite like this, please don't worry. Right now I'm in section 1503. If you look at the top of the screen, I'm in 1503, so if you're in the other section, don't worry. But this is the main course page, and this is the section on announcements. So this is the first area you'll see when you log into our class. Please note that if you are looking on your phone, or if you're looking, if you just log into the main area of D2L, you'll see all the announcements for all your different classes. So to make sure you're focusing specifically on English 2323, you need to make sure you're clicking the icon that goes directly to the class. Just be aware. So we're in the main area. If there are ever any changes or any reminders or any updates that I want to share with you as a class, I'll post them in announcements, right? So they'll be right here and visible when you log into our class area. Another important part of D2L for us is going to be the content area. So when I click on that, on the left-hand side, you'll see that there is a table of contents. There is an area for book information, depending on the section that you are in. There is a section on syllabus, schedule, and readings. So there's always going to be an updated version of the syllabus here. Our actual schedule for the course, which I'll update. You know, I'm going to forewarn you, I've only included the first 4 weeks of the course because I think it's really cruel to have the full 14 weeks visible right from the start, because that can be really stressful to look at. But note that in a couple of weeks, I will update it so that you know when those major assignments are due and things of that nature. And I also want to see how our pacing is, right? If I need to increase the amount that we have to do, which likely won't happen, or maybe decrease the amount that we have to do, depending on how we're progressing. Okay, and then the online discussion post rubric is posted here. All the rubrics and assignment materials I'll go ahead and post in this area of D2L, as well as any additional materials. Okay, there's a whole section on D2L help, and this is just if you are not familiar with D2L or if you have a question about how to do something, there are documents for all of these kinds of things. So if you need to know how to set up notifications or to view feedback from Turnitin, which is relevant to our course, it has some snapshots and screenshots here that can walk you through the process. So in a pinch, if you have some questions about how to do something on D2L, please look here, okay? For life help, especially now, this can be pretty relevant to us depending on what we're experiencing. So this section is taken from our syllabus that just notes, you know, that it can be a difficult time. Here's a link to Communities in Schools, which is an organization that can help connect you to area resources. If you have some issues with rent or health or any of those kinds of things, Communities in Schools and the folks there can help. So there's a link. There's also a link here for Care for Completion, which is a site that can direct you to various community and campus organizations. So if you click on that, it will take you, you know, if you have some questions about food, clothing, employment, I mean, any of these things. I just want it to be where it's just a click away if you need something at that time. So if we go back to that section, There's the Student Success Institute, which I really encourage all of you to consider. It is an organization that will match you up with a mentor, which can be a peer mentor, so somebody who is a student as well, or it can be a faculty member or staff member, depending on your comfort level with that. I've been a mentor before, and that's just to help you succeed, right? So somebody who knows the ins and outs of college and the ins and outs of North Harris, who can help ensure that you're comfortable and you know where to go and what to do, who to talk to if you need things. Statistically, folks who take part in the Student Success Institute are really successful every semester when it comes to grades, so just something to think about. Okay, and then for our class, especially writing assistance and tutoring, if you click on this link, it will take you to the Center for Reading and Writing. And you can make an online appointment where you can talk with a tutor about your work, especially if it's something in our class or in any subject, right? In any discipline, they will help you with your writing, okay? So that's in the life help section, okay? And then there's also a handout that I've created that just has all the different resources available to all students at North Harris, even if you're a dual credit student. And then area resources, so the Houston Food Bank, all of these kinds of things that are relevant to folks who live in our area. So just know that, you know, there are some quick references here, but if you need something more intensive in terms of help, whether it's academic or not, you can always reach out to me and I'll do my best to connect you to the right folks who can help you, okay? Also on the left-hand side will be every week, you know, for the semester. So week 1 is already updated, posted, the videos are there. Don't be overwhelmed, just take things slowly, one at a time. So I'll always include a weekly module here. If you go to the top, there's also grades where your grades will eventually be posted. It can take 1 to 2 weeks for grades to be turned around in our course, so just keep an eye on that. Make sure that you don't have any questions. If you do the drop-down menu for course activities, we'll be submitting assignments in the assignment area. So those are more major assignments, and when that becomes something that is due, I will walk you through that in a weekly video. There's also the quizzes, but again, everything that you need for your weeks will be in the actual module here. So I'll have links to quizzes and things like that if that's relevant. In collaboration, there is the discussion area. So we will do weekly discussions. You can find it by going here or again going to the weekly area, which will have direct links to those discussions. I also want to click on Webex because this is where you will go for online hours. So it's like office hours, but since we're online, we will be using Webex. So the Webex is usually for something that you schedule directly with me. I will send you an invite if it's something outside of the normal hours. But if you want to meet on Thursdays during the office hours, there will be times available between 12 and 1 in 10-minute increments. And you just go to Webex and you click on appointment booking and you will see those options here. They're not visible just yet, and I'm in Sunday, so you want to click, I'm going to scooch over a little bit, click on week, and it will show times and availabilities for Thursday. So don't be overwhelmed by what you see here. At first, it can be pretty overwhelming, but just click through and explore the different areas. So that's Webex. What I also want to do is walk through where you go to send an email, because that is something that's required of you in the first week. So D2L email is a little tricky and it's kind of annoying. So I want to make sure that you know how to do that. So at the top, there's that little envelope icon. If you click that, there's instant messages as a choice. And this is where you'll go. It'll have a pop-up window. This is where you'll go for office hours, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. We'll just do kind of a chat to see if you have any questions, and that's from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Y'all, this is all included on the syllabus, but I'm just kind of revisiting that here. But email is right here. If you click on it, it looks standard email, right? Like if you have an email account with Google or anybody, it looks like this. So you're going to click compose and it will pop open a window. What I want you to note is that you want to be in your actual class and use the email option so that it auto-populates your class and section number. This is required for my class, but it's also something that's really helpful to all of your professors, because if you are looking around in your biology class and you're going, oh, I forgot that the email assignment is due in Dr. E's class. I need to go do that. And you're still in your biology class area, it will auto-populate your biology class course number section, all of that, and it will really confuse me, and I might not open the email because I'll go, oh, well, this is obviously intended for this person's biology professor, not me, so just beware. This is also really helpful to me because I like to keep all the emails in different class sections organized, so this, at a glance, I can find those emails based on this. You just type into the body, right? And there are instructions for that, what to include. But I want to talk about how to identify a recipient, right? The best thing, y'all, is to know the person's name. So know my name. My name is Dr. E, right? But my name, you know, to find me with is Erin Raft. So you can either start with the first or last name. So I'm starting with my first name, and you'll see that from the drop-down menu, that's an option. You can also do my last name and the same thing, okay? You want to make sure, because if you have to use the address book, just trust me, it's so annoying the way that they have it set up in D2L, so just know the person's name. So if you're communicating with somebody in your classes, make sure that you get their name information, okay? So that's email. One thing I also want to mention is that you can set up notifications. So if you go to your name right here, and from the drop-down menu, select notifications, this will have information about the app. So if you want to load something on your phone just so you can use as a quick reference, I definitely don't recommend using your phone generally for the course because the functionality isn't quite as good as actually using, say, a tablet or a desktop or a PC, whatever else you might be using. But it's nice to just check on things if you want to check a quick email or check your grades. This is the app that you would download. And it's so much easier, y'all, than going, you know, on your phone, Googling D2L, opening up D2L through your browser, because no matter what, even if you have Chrome on your phone, which is definitely what I recommend you use for D2L, the app is going to be much simpler. The app is going to be much more functional. Visually, it's going to load a lot quicker as well. So just keep that in mind. But I also want you to note that you can register your phone if you want to receive notifications. So if you click on this, you just enter your phone information and it will then send you a confirmation. Once you've done that, then you will be able to select a bunch of options for SMS if you want to receive text updates. I definitely recommend that you don't select absolutely everything, because then your phone will be blowing up with text messages. And y'all, I do things in D2L, then I change them. I may delete something or add something. You don't want to be notified for every little thing that I'm doing in our class. You may just want to be notified. I think the most useful things are announcements, right? If I announce, hey, this is due, just a reminder, you want to know that immediately. Other things you can just, as you're checking D2L, just check in on those. But for announcements, I think that might be something you want to receive notifications about. So then you can click Save at the bottom, and it should send you that information. But again, you can always load the app and set notifications through that as well. Okay, that's just a really quick glimpse at D2L, just so that you know where you're going and what you're doing. Please also note that there's this section on support here. So if you click on that, it may not open for me because I'm not a student, but okay, good. It has all the resources that might be helpful. VLAC support is where you want to go if you have something that you need to talk, and I really recommend you call instead of doing a chat, but you know, whatever's going to work for you. But those are really helpful areas of D2L to kind of keep in mind as we start to get used to the class. All right, if you have any questions, you can always post in the Q&A area of the discussion board, which I covered in the instructions here, or you can shoot me an email, which I also covered here. All right, it's going to be a great semester. I'm really glad you're here.